Welcome to Yoga for Everybody. And let's just enjoy ourselves today with our bodies and our breath. Bodies and our breath, and also our minds, because it's kind of important, sort of. So let's start standing. But let's pay attention to our feet. I'm going to start from the ground up. So look at the feet. Let's get them about hips width apart. So don't forget, this isn't this measurement, but it's the hip joint. Hip joint, knee joint, ankle joint, all in kind of parallel there. And the feet are in parallel. Okay, so just finding the feet, and just bringing your attention by looking at the feet. Lift the toes, really lift them off the ground as high as you can. As if we're trying to get their toes, and also try and separate them. I know it's not always easy. But you find with the yoga practice, your toes will start to become a bit more agile, and then place them down. Just feel that connection with the ground. And then lift the heels high, pushing off the toes. And that might be a bit wobbly to start with. That's okay, we'll bring them down. Let me just have a little feel of the ground. Maybe bend the knees and just sort of kind of feel the ground as if you kind of have pause and you're feeling with these feet. And we're going to just bring a bit more earth energy into us here. By stay in the same position. I'll just show you from the side. Knees are bent. We'll just bounce the heels a little bit. You'll notice also, just notice if the arms are kind of staying still. Really, we want them to kind of be bouncing. So starting to loosen the shoulders up a little bit. And breathe a little bit. So knees stay bent. We're just bouncing on the heels, nothing too dramatic. Breathing in through the nostrils and out through the mouth. Just arrive and let ourselves enjoy the ground, the feet and the body. Become a bit more embodied. Bring the sides of the feet together. So in this body, we're going to become a bit more energized. Breathe in, lift the arms up, interlink the fingers above the head and stretch up, really extend up, and also feel that you're squeezing the arms either side of the head, then lift the heels really high off the ground and hold the breath. Hold it in, so you're breathing into the nostrils and holding it quite sort of firmly as you're squeezing at the same time and lifting. And then we breathe out slowly through the nostrils, loosen the hands and let the hands float down, and the hands are coming down and the heels are coming down as slowly as we can. So we get this real contrast between this strong inhale, this very vital and kind of making our own tension, and then it's soft and relaxed, breathing in. It's a strong inhale, we stretch up, we hold the breath in, we lift the heels high, we press the legs together, we press the arms together, and we're holding the length in the waist, and then we breathe out slowly. So it's a controlled, steady release of out breath. Slowly, slowly, hands are coming down, breath is coming out through the nostrils. Good. Let's do one more of those. Breathing in. Extending upwards, squeezing the legs together, lifting the heels high, push off those toes. Hold the breath in. So we really, this is a time when tension, we are creating our own tension, so it's useful. And then we release and soften. All of that tension, releasing and softening. We just feel all the energy that we've kind of built up in that battery, kind of coming down the limbs, filling the body with energy. Take the feet a bit further apart, about as wide as the shoulders. Knees are bent or soft, and then we're coming into these twists. Bend into the knees. This is loosening. So we're energized. Now we're just loosening and letting that energy really move around and get to all the extremities, reaching all the parts of the body. Breathing in and out through the nostrils. Let the arms swing. The arms are kind of like just big, heavy pendulums, and the body is moving the arms. Really let the backs of the hands smack into the lower back. Breathe. And we come to a stillness. Set the backs of the hands onto the lower back. Yeah, make some sound. Don't be afraid to make sound. Or at least just let that, it doesn't have to be a loud sound, it just be, it's a kind of a little bit of a sigh. And then we take the hands to the front of the hips, hip flexors, stimulate them a little bit, engaged, bring a bit of energy into that part of the body. And then we bring the fingers to the chest area. Yeah, this really helps us and encourages us to breathe, as well as there being energy points here we're stimulating. It's also really opening up, encouraging our breath, opening up and bringing ourselves our focus into the heart as well. And also just encouraging this area to open up so we're not hunching the shoulders up. And let's just take that into the head, because we want to give ourselves a little shampoo, get those fingers digging into the skull, still feeling a sense of connection to the earth. So we haven't forgotten our feet. We're still staying in this body, but we just need to, you know, soften up all of the kind of stiff, gristly parts in this head and this skull. And then also let's just get into that jaw as well. Breathe and just kind of soften and squidge into the cheeks. Just feeling that jaw. You can feel the teeth there as well in the cheeks. Good. Getting all those little parts there, right behind the ears. You can dig your fingers in. Just feels good to loosen that all up. Okay, and let's just free up all that now with a lovely big hair. Breathing in strongly, look up, lift the hands up, and then out through the mouth in one big ha, the half breath. Let the arms swing. After that, you know, just let the arms swing with that momentum. So it's a strong inhale. When we lift up, we're almost coming off the toes there, and then out through the mouth. Bend the knees, let the arms swing. So we're really giving it to the ground. Let's go again. Breathing in. Strong inhale. Make it a strong, almost as much emphasis, and emptying. One more. Breathe in. Out through the mouth. Let it all go. A little bit of a cross crawl here. So we're lifting the left knee, meeting it with the right hand, and then we're going the other way. So this is just to get the coordination, a little bit of balance, and getting the energy moving as well. Getting the energy moving in a good direction. Cross-lateral movement helps that. Breathe. And unblocking any kind of places that are a bit stuck. This is very simple little cross-crawl motion. And then we'll do this with the same, but with the extended leg. So a little bit more demanding there. Good. And you can do this as fast or slow as you like. Find it's, if you do it slower, it's actually a little bit more challenging. And then we take the left leg out to the side and the right arm out for the head, or whatever way you want to start, but it's opposites. Taking that leg right out to the side, opening up the hip a little bit. Just start to notice where you might feel a bit stiff. Notice what's kind of, oh, didn't know that was a bit stiff. Just noticing, oh, my hip is just waking up, needing this energy. And then we're just going to take the hands to the hips if you wish, and then lift the knee and open out. I just like this sense of open here, which is encouraged, I think, by having the hands on the hips, shoulders down, chest lifted. So we're just alternating. Lift the knee high and out to the side. Oiling the hip joints by moving the body. Moving the body creates lubrication of the joints. Breathing in and out through the nostrils, so we're not sort of stopping that flow of life, that flow of energy. Keeping the flow all the time. Okay, let's come to the front of the mat now. Let's just have a stand at the front of the mat. Just checking your feet again. Finding your feet. Standing tall, so being really aware of your posture. Looking directly forwards, thinking about the back of the neck. So the chin is slight, back of the neck being really long. This is where you lengthen up, chin slightly tucked in. Lift the chest. Soft knees there. Feet are really open to the ground, spreading out the toes. We're going to come into warrior two. So it's a big step back with that right leg. Weight on the left. Big step back with the right. So quite dynamic to start. We're going to move in and out this one because it feels nice to move in and out of. So inhale, lift the arms high. Make sure the hips are facing the long edge of the mat there. Also, as you lift the arms, it's not just the arms, you're lifting the whole of the rib cage. So you're getting long in the waist there. Keep that length as you bring the arms down to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders down the left arm. Breathe in. As you breathe out, you're bending into that left knee and you're pressing into that right heel. If I was just going forwards into the right knee, this would happen. And look at where my body is, in a kind of diagonal with the leg. It's staying upright. And that's where this anchoring will help that. By coming in and out, we kind of start to become much more aware of that, pressing into that back foot, using this right buttock. Keep extending the fingers away from each other. Don't let that right arm drop down because you're not looking at it, because you're looking down the left arm. So all the time feeling a sense of balance, and that we're not putting all the weight in the front foot. We're keeping this body upright. Also a sense of maybe thinking about the base, the root of the body going down towards the ground. So really need to keep their awareness on the sense of evenness of weight between the feet. And breath, breathing in as you lift up. Feel the sense of lifting from the heart, and breathing out, maintaining the upright position of the body. Also just checking your knee, have a look and see that it's kind of not starting to go inwards here. It's really trying to go in line with the toes. Straight out there. Good. And we'll just come into this posture again now. We're just kind of going to stay here for a breath here. Extend the fingers away from each other, drop the shoulders down, lift the chest. Really strong here and lively. Breathe in, breathe out, sink a little lower. Come up on the inhale, lower the arms on the exhale. Bend into the right knee and bring yourself back to the front of the mat. Give the knees a little shake just to realign and reset. Weight on the right now. We take a big step back with the left. Okay. Get the hips level, square, and facing the long edge of the mat. Breathe in, lift the arms up, lift the chest. Breathing out, bring the arms to shoulder height. So we really extend the fingertips away from each other. Inhale, lift the chest, drop the shoulders down, long neck. And as you exhale, again, bending into that right knee. It's hovering over the ankle and we're pressing into that left heel. Lifting up on the inhale, so feel that lift coming from the heart. Exhaling, you're pressing into both feet in a way. Inhale, keep the shoulders down, keep extending the fingers away from each other. So really feel all the points are moving away from each other. So you're getting lots of space in the center of the body. We're really trying to create lots of space. All the limbs are extending away. Even the crown is lifting up. Have a sense of that. And we're not tensing in the feet, so notice how your feet are still nice and open to the ground. Also checking, a few things to check. The knee is going in line with those toes, and your back arm, whichever one that is, left arm, is not sort of kind of giving up and having a little bit of a break. Breathing out. So let's have one more of these, and then we're going to just come into the posture now. Breathing out, and we're just going to stay there for a breath or two, maybe, depending how long your breaths are. Breathing in and breathing out, sinking a little deeper. Come up on the inhale. The arms float down on the exhale. Arms are going to be, kind of quite energized, let's say. Bend into the left knee and bring yourself back to the front of the mat. Give the legs another little shake. Yeah, good. So we're going to come into a wide leg position now, or a wide leg forward bend. So we're going to incorporate the arms as well, because I'm really thinking about opening this chest and all of this and combating all the sitting and working at desk body. So we take the fingers and insert them behind the back, let the hands just, or the arms just rest on the back, so nice and relaxed in the shoulders there. Feet are parallel, nice and wide with the feet, breathing in. Lift the chest, look up, breathing out, lead with the chest. So we're really keeping this long here. So it's lifting and leading. Okay, all the way down. So there's a squeeze between the shoulder blades behind you already. And coming with the straight legs, just coming into a forward bend. And then once you're here, just take the arms away from the body. And let the arms just feel, see if you can just allow the weight of the arms just to kind of do a lot of the work. We're trying not to press. We're just trying to see if we can release through the position, through gravity, and through breath. So breathing deeply here. In and out through the nostrils. Make that out breath even longer than you think it could be. And still in the forward bend, just let the hands come back, still interlinked with the fingers. Bring them to the centre of the back, wherever that feels as the centre. And we'll just draw a circle clockwise on the back. A few times, just kind of bringing ease into the back. And then we'll draw it the other way. or anti-clockwise, or whatever was the opposite. And as you're doing that, bend the knees and slowly uncurl, leaving the head hanging, breathing in and out all the time, just sort of winding ourselves back up. Yeah, feels good there. Okay, so while we're in this position, we're going to try goddess. So we just turn the feet out slightly. Yeah, so about a 45-degree angle. And have a test of that. See, actually, I need to go a bit wider because when I bend my knees as wide as I can get them, I can take the feet a tiny bit further out. The important thing is that the knees and the toes are in the same position. And we keep our body upright, so we're not sticking the bottom out and bowing. We're keeping this body upright from the root to the crown. And we lift the chest, press the hands together in front of the chest, dropping the shoulders down. So it's not like this. The elbows are out to the side, so it's very kind of engaged. And we're coming down, so just giving a bit, again, lots of leg energy today. Feeling our power, feeling our strength, breathing with that. That breath underpins all of this, you know, really, and it keeps our mind focused. Powering the body, keeping the energy flowing. So just enjoying that feeling of warming up the legs and also the buttocks coming down, strong belly here to support the back. Okay, let's bring in the goddess now then. So this is how it looks, breathing in. We lift the arms up, breathing and look up, and then breathing out. So this is out breath. If you can get this rasping in the throat, that's great. Don't worry if it's not happening. It's more the kind of the attitude. So we're just kind of getting the fire coming up with that big inhale and then out. So the knees bend, these cactus arms, spread out fingers, elbows out to the side, very strong in the chest as well. It's like express. So this is expressing ourselves. Breathing in. Good. Take a moment. Let's just do one more of these. So breathe in and out. Get a nice big inhale. Good. And let's just bring the feet together. The legs a little shake here. We're going to come into a balance now. So it's another strong one. It's going to be a warrior 3. So we'll bring the weight onto the left foot. And we just start to take the right foot back, just onto the toe there. And then we start to really extend the toe back. If you prefer, you can push the heel back. I always go for this toe because I just think it's kind of really feels like lengthening. We want that dynamic. It's still lengthening when you push the heel away, but this is just my preference. You can choose. And as you lift that leg up, see how my body is going with that. So I'm keeping that line with the body. I also focus my eyes because I'm moving around a lot. And take the hands forwards. So you have a choice of positions with the hands. You can press them together, or you can make this Jupiter mudra, interlinking the fingers, pointing the index finger, the first finger. So we extend forwards with the arms, and we extend forwards with that right toe. We try and keep your hips level as well. That's tricky. You're going to feel your abdominals working, your back, your hips, your legs, your buttocks. This is a whole body workout, really. You're looking at the ground and you're breathing. And we're trying not to grip the ground with the left toes here. Breathe. You're going to get warm. One more breath in and then release. We don't stay there too long. Stay there longer if you want. Give the legs a good shake just to reset everything. Other side now. So we're going to come onto bring the weight onto the right foot. We just come onto the tippy toe of that left foot, just keeping the balance there. Good. And then we send those hands forwards. Again, choose your position. I like this mudra, this Jupiter mudra. Pointing the index finger and then pointing the toe and taking the fingers forwards. So these are 2 points trying to move away from each other, the fingertips and the point of the left toe. Good. Really extend. Try not to grip the toes on the ground. Breathe. The neck is staying in line with the spine. Breathe deeply, dig deep here. One more breath in and then out. Release. Slowly bring the leg down. Give the legs a shake. We're going to have a little bit of a restorative movement here. In fact, we'll come into a squat. Squatting is great. We need to release the hips a little bit now. So releasing the hips. Again, it's always important to find, sometimes you find the position of the feet just changes everything. So just, adjust that. Maybe see, oh, that feels better like that. Take them wider, take them narrower, adjust the angle. This will change everything. This is a restorative posture. So we're just going to let the body hang, let the head hang. back of the hands rest on the ground. Breathe into the nostrils and out through the mouth. If you find your heels are off the ground, put something underneath them. Otherwise, it's not going to be very restorative because you're going to be teetering, a feeling of teetering. We don't want this. Really feel the weight of the head so that your neck can release. So this is going to give your neck a good treat. Back of the neck and into the back of the shoulders is all open. We're letting the arms hang. Feel the weight of the arms hanging, the shoulders hanging. We encourage that with this out breath through the mouth, this releasing breath, breathing in through the nostrils, expand the body, and then out through the mouth. Let it all go. Empty out your air. Now we're going to lift the head up slowly. Bring the hands together. See if we can lift the body up. If you find yourself falling backwards, again, even if your feet are on the ground, you can put something underneath your heels to take your body forwards. You can even perch yourself on something if you want to. So pressing the hands together, and then see if you can get those elbows to press on the insides of the knees. And then lifting the chest, back of the neck long. So we're getting this nice, long, strong back. And we're really getting some openness in the hips here. Breathing in and out through the nostrils. One more breath in and release on the out breath. Take the hands to the ground. Let me come into ragdoll briefly. Let the body hang. Knees are bent. This is key. Arms are hanging. Head is hanging. In fact, the whole of the body is hanging. Unless it doesn't feel comfortable, and then you place the elbows on the knees. But you're still hanging the body here. It's just you've got a bit more support. So you can choose there. Inhale through the nostrils. Out through the mouth. Now we slowly uncurl and unfurl the whole back. So we do it gradually. We start with the base and we ripple up through the spine. We leave the knees bent. We leave the arms hanging. We leave the head hanging. We keep breathing in and out through the nostrils as we slowly come up. And as we come up, let's just open up the body again. Remind the shoulders to stay open, chest to open, so bending the knees, lifting the shoulders back. Let's roll the shoulders back a few times. Just feels good. And then go forwards a couple of times. Really trying to see if you can squeeze the shoulders right up high, squeeze them forwards, open them wide. Yeah, and the knees are bending with that. Okay. Let's come into half substitute now. So, standing with the feet hips apart, just to get lots of movement happening. After we've had a bit of restoration. Standing tall, find your posture. So just checking the feet again, lift the toes, place them down. Lift the heels, place them down. Land with the feet, the hips width apart, they're parallel. Just pressing the hands together lightly and just lifting. Notice how I'm lifting the chest towards that. This makes all the difference. So lift the chest, and notice what happens to my shoulders. Otherwise it's kind of like this. It's not very, doesn't make you feel good. I feel different. Here I feel bright, lively. So it has an impact on how we feel, our posture. We're lifting the chest up to the ceiling really, rather than pressing it forwards. It's a different feeling. So we get lots of length here. Back of the neck long, softness in the knees, pointing the tailbone down. So we're finding this position to start. Breathe with this. So you feel your feet on the ground, you feel the energy coming up from the ground, you feel the crown, the middle of the top of the head, and a connection to the universe, soles of the feet, roots going down. So you feel connected and centered. We maintain this connected and centeredness throughout this moving sequence. So, hands, fingers point to the ground, maybe your gaze comes down, and then inhale, lifting the hands up, the hands come up together, and then the hands come apart. We're bending the knees, the chest is coming forward, you touch the ground. And then you're straightening the legs, you look up towards the ceiling, hands come to the knees, so I've got straight arms, back, and legs. And then we keep the legs straight as we come into forward bend, breathing out, touch the ground, bend the knees, breathing in, pushing up through the legs, reaching up with the hands, looking up, it's all in, inhale, 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 strong inhale, exhale, arms coming down. I'm just going to repeat that, so I'll do it quite slowly, breathing in, breathing out, knees bend, it's important that. Deep of the chest, fingertips touch the ground, then look up, open the chest, shoulders come back, hands just on the knees there, straight arms, back and legs, and then forward bend, breathing out. So it's a slow breath. Bend the knees, look up, lift up the arms, inhale, exhale. Notice the difference between these movements, vitality, strength on my inhales, we reach up, the softness coming down to the earth, the softness in the knees, the fingertips touch the ground softly, looking down at the ground. And this strong rising up, open the chest, shoulders back, look up, exhale, softening to the ground. Still strong in the back of the legs though. And the knees, that's inhale, push up through the feet, through the legs, inhale, look up, exhale, arms coming down. Do a few more of these, maybe a bit faster. Inhale, reach up, exhale, bend the knees, touch the ground. Inhale, look up, hands on the knees, straight arms, back and legs. Exhale, forward bend, straight legs. Bend the knees now. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, arms coming down. Inhale, arms come up, look up. Exhale, bend the knees, touch the ground with the fingertips. Inhale, look up, hands on the knees. Exhale, forward bend. Bend the knees a lot. Push up through the ground. Reach up, inhale, look up. Exhale, arms come down. A couple more. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, touch the ground. Inhale, hands on the knees, look forwards, look upwards. Exhale, forward bend. Bend the knees, push up from the ground. Lift the hands up, inhale. Look up, exhale, hands come down. Let's do a slow one to finish. Inhale. Fill yourself with air. Exhale, bend the knees, leading with the chest. It's like you're diving here. The hands are coming down, leading with the chest and the face. Touch the ground, knees are bent. Then we lift up the face, look up. And it's like a halfway up thing. And then we come down. Straight legs, forward bend here, bend the knees. Then lift the eyes, lift the hands, inhale. Scooping up all the energy and then exhaling, free yourself. Good. Hands together, just take a moment there. So let's come into another balance. I think this is important. I'm going to come into tree balance, talking about the roots and the sky. You know, this tree, like us humans, we're connecting, we're connectors between the heavens and the earth. So we start off by bringing the weight into the left foot. When we begin that, we just have that left knee slightly bent there, just to send that energy, the gravity, lower the center of gravity. That's what I want to say. The right knee turns out, and then I can either put that foot on the ankle or the calf or the thigh, not on the knee. We don't want it on the knee. Pressing firmly. If you're finding you're just falling all over the place, hold on to something. I mean, try not to lean on it, but just have it there that you can touch when you need it, like a wall or a piece of furniture. Oh, I don't need it today. But if you have your foot on the thigh, press firmly, but also press the thigh back. Lift from the center, the knees coming out to the side. Breathing in, lift the arms up. We bring the hands together above the head, and then we bring them down into the heart center. The elbows out to the side. Again, it's just as lifting, the shoulders are sinking down. So it's very open here. And you think about this openness, so this beautiful crown of the tree. And you also think about the roots going down from the sole of the foot. And you keep your eyes steady on a fixed point and breathe. Don't hold your breath. Balance requires breath. Breathing in and out through the nostrils, staying steady, pressing the hands together evenly, trying not to grip with the toes. That's something that just happens, but we're just preventing our foot from learning when we grip. And it's going to wibble and wobble around. That's going to be, have an impact on the ankle. Breathing in, lift the arms up. Breathing out, lower the arms down slowly. See if we can get hold of that right knee. And let it fall down through the air slowly. Then we give the legs a little shake. Give the ankles particularly. When you're feeling it. Do get support. If you need the support, one side might need it a bit more than the other. That's fine. Standing on this leg now, right knee bent. Turn the left knee out. Place the foot on the ankle or calf, not on the knee, or thigh. Inside thigh, and the knee is coming out to the side. So we're really opening here, and we're lifting here. So everything is open. Inhale, lift the arms up. Let's have this lovely big spreading tree. So this gives a very big sense of crown here when the fingers are outstretched, the arms are outstretched, the chest is lifted. So arms aren't out like this, they're out, and the chest is open. The shoulders are dropping down behind. Try not to grip with the toes. See my toes moving all the time. This is good. So really stretching right into the fingertips. They're like little twigs. Imagine they're going to be springing with leaves. Reaching to the light. Upper body is reaching to the light, expanding. Lower body reaching into the ground. Roots. So they go deep down. So we don't, we might wobble, but we're not going to topple. Breathe fully. Feel that openness, rootedness. Good. Now as you breathe in, you're going to bring the hands together. As you breathe out, you're going to lower the hands down. And still see if you can catch that knee before it comes down, that left leg. Lift it up high. And see if you can just let it float down through space. And then let's give the legs a good shake. Both legs, giving them a good shake. Oh, yeah. And we're going to come into a wide leg now. Wide leg ragdoll. So this is just a releasing posture. So bend the knees and then see if you can let yourself disintegrate here. So this is the weight of the head comes down, the arms are hanging here. We're breathing in and out through the nostrils. Take it slowly and see how it feels. Slowly, slowly, you find everything is just releasing. Let the hands rest on the ground, or you can hold the elbows, whatever you prefer. Let the head hang. Let the knees stay bent here. We're just going to release everything. Breathe in through the nostrils. Out through the mouth. In through the nostrils. Out through the mouth. We slowly rise up through our center, keeping the knees bent, leaving the arms hanging. Breathing in and out the whole time, slowly, slowly, slowly rise up. Slowly coming up to center. And when you're up, just rolling the shoulders back a few times again. Good. Then we're going to bring the feet together, give the legs a good shake. So, time for another warrior. I think we're going to do lots of warriors today. So we come to the back of the mat this time, just for a change. Put the feet in a V shape. There's space between the ankles there, space between the heels. We're standing nice and tall. And we're going to step forward with the right leg to begin. So put the weight on the left foot and take a nice big step forward with the right. You might want to shuffle it forward a little bit more if you didn't get the biggest step as you wanted. But this is the key point. This part of the body is the key area here in this posture, because probably your hips are going to be facing slightly out to that left corner. And we really want them to be facing forwards. And that's going to require you to think about the hips. So the right hip's coming back, the left hip's coming forward, pushing into that left heel there. It might be that the left heel is slightly off the ground, and that's better than having that angle of the foot pointing out. You can see that because of what happens on my hips. It means it's very difficult to get them around. So I really want to try and get that back foot slightly pointing forwards. And widen the stance as well, widthways on the mat, if you're finding yourself a bit unbalanced. So, body's upright. Inhale, lift the arms up. Arms are up above the head. The space between the hands, they're facing each other. And on the exhale, we just bend into that right knee. Let's see if we can come in and out of this like we did with the other warrior. So inhale, lengthening up, straightening that right leg. Exhale, come into that. So we just move in and out gradually. So be really aware of the position of your hips as we do this. Breathing in, breathing out. So the extension up through the arms as well. But we keep the shoulders away from the ears. So keeping the space here. Whilst we keep that arm extended, we're not lifting the shoulder. It's a slight difference, but it makes all the difference. Also make sure that your arms, if you can, try to make sure they're not in your vision. So this is, I can see them now in front of me. I'm really trying to get them up by the ears. And this helps to keep the body upright. Because here, I'm tending to kind of take the body forwards again. I want to keep it upright. Inhaling, exhaling. See, maybe go a little bit deeper each time with this knee bend. Making sure it's going in line with the toes. And also just checking you're really pressing into that back foot. Good. Let's come into the posture. See how that feels now. Breathe. And if you want to, you can look up at the space between the hands. Check you're test your balance. Breathe in and out. Really thinking still about the position of the hips, that right hip coming back, left hip pushing forwards. Come up on the inhale, lower the arms on the exhale, and bend that right knee and come to the back of the mat. Maybe it's a couple of steps. Good, it's not so easy stepping backwards, more scary. Now give the legs a little shake. So let's bring the weight onto the right foot, feet in a little V shape. Weight on the right, big step forward with the left foot. Get the hips, this is the most important part. Right hip forward, left hip back. And also that right toes pointing a little bit more forward, so not out to the side. And also thinking about, this is another key thing, it's quite difficult, this is quite challenging because your bottom is going to want to stick out here. But we already want to use those abdominal muscles, which when you point that tail down, the abdominals kick in and they're supporting the back a bit more clearly. Breathing in, lift the arms up, palms face each other, shoulders down. Exhaling, bending into that left knee, but pushing into that back heel. So we're keeping that steadiness. So we're always thinking about that evenness between the feet. This is what the warrior, all the warriors really demand, is that balance, steadiness, stability, strength. Strength comes from the stability and the balance here. And this is part of the stability as well, position of the hips. All the time we're thinking about that right hip coming forwards, left hip going back. As that left hip comes back, we feel this length from the left thigh. Good. So we can do this, you can do this as quite a small movement. We can do this quite a strong movement coming in and out. Or we could experiment with that, maybe getting a little bit deeper each time. It's nice to do the moving and breathing because it keeps us a bit more engaged. When we're still, sometimes the mind starts wandering off. Good. So then we're just kind of come into the posture now. So on the next out breath, we're coming into that posture. We keep breathing in and out. Turn your gaze towards the ceiling, towards the space between the hands here, if that feels okay for you. And also if it feels okay for your neck. Keep the chest nice and open. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears. That's the hips steady because they're right at the center there, so it detects everything else. Come up on the inhale, lower the arms on the exhale, bend into the left knee, and then spring to the back of the mat. Give the legs a good shake. Okay. So we're going to have a little bit of a come down to the mat time. Let's come down into a forward bend to begin. So we stand at the front of the mat, we breathe in, lift the arms up. If you prefer, you can hold on to the back if you feel that you need that support coming into the forward bend. Otherwise, we're coming into the forward bend, so strong in the belly, strong in the back, and come down to fingertips on the ground. If the fingertips don't reach the ground, then put something on the ground so you have connection with the ground, blocks, books, whatever it is. And then we're just going to come up on the fingertips, look forwards, just to lengthen the spine a little bit, breathe in. And breathing out, coming to the forward bend a little bit deeper. Coming up again on the inhale. Looking forwards and breathing out, coming a little bit deeper into the forward bend. So it's a real sense of lifting that tail, and the other end of this line is the chest coming down to the ground, rather than the chest looking at the knees, or the eyes looking at the knees. The eyes are looking at the toes there. Let me do that one more time. Breathing in, look forwards, come up on the fingertips, lengthen the spine, breathing out, coming into the position. This is strong on the hamstrings, you can feel this. Maybe you feel this in your lower back as well. Good. Come up on the fingertips once more, breathe in. Bring the weight onto the left foot. We're going to just take a big step back with the right. Into a lunge. So we bend into that left knee, hands at either side of this left foot. The right heel is going backwards, so it's quite strong. If it feels better for you, you can put that knee on the ground. If it feels too strong, you have options always. Always have volume controls. And some days, you're going to have different energy. So it's good to identify that and to go along with that somewhat. Breathe. Good. Then bring the knee down. And you can either keep the toe tucked under or put the foot flat, whatever feels better for you. And if that knee is complaining, then just put a blanket underneath it or a cushion to support that and soften the impact. So breathe in, lift the arms up, arms together, breathing out. The hips are coming forwards and the arms are going back to create this crescent moon. And this will mean, you know, if you take the arms back, it'll mean there's a bit less pressure. It's more even, the pressure between that left foot, right knee, and also that left knee as well. Lift the chest. Breathe. I'm going to bring the hands down. I'm not going to stay there too long. Either side of the foot. And then we're going to come and lift that right knee off the ground again. And send the left foot back. So we're coming into a plank. Strong posture. Again, if you feel this is too much, you can bring your knees to the ground. So the chest is above the hands, not the face, because otherwise the bottom is in the air. So it's a strong, it's a plank because it's like a plank of wood and our body's in a straight line. Now we bring the knees to the ground. Or if you feel strong, you can lower down without bringing the knees to the ground. But however which way we get to laying on the front of the body, the arms come back either side. Breathing into the nostrils. Sigh out through the mouth. Let's have a little rest here. Have a little brief rest. Have maybe a little rock of the hips here, side to side. Just rocking's very comforting. It brings ease into the body. So it's quite nice to do that. A nice breathe out through the mouth. So here we're going to do a little back bend. Simple back bend. So bring them forward to the ground. Bring the legs together. Now as you inhale, you're going to lift the head off the ground, chin, the chest, and then start to open the shoulders, and then start to feel the lift coming into the arms. And the last thing to come up will be the legs. And we hold this as we breathe. Breathing in and out. So the simple back bend is kind of a version of a locust, I suppose. And one more breath in. And on the out breath, slowly lower down, rest on the other side of the head. Have a few out breaths through the mouth here. Inhale through the nostrils. So we'll try this again. Bring the legs together, come onto the forehead. Breathe out fully. Breathing in, lift the nose, the chin, the chest, lift the arms, lift the legs. And let's take the arms out to the sides and then forwards. So we've got this Superman pose. Let's see how that feels. It's a bit stronger, I think. One more breath in and out. And again, breathing one more time, breathing out, sweep the arms back. Take one more breath in here, and then lower down, rest on the other side of the face. So that's going to feel like, you're going to feel it probably on your back. So this is where you want to release that. So put the hands either side of the face, push into the hands. Walk the hands back, and we come into the pose of the swan. That's going to feel, hopefully going to feel great in comparison to what you've just done. It's a counter pose. So we bring our forward to the ground, or you can always put your head in the back of the hands if you prefer. And this is a great way of getting lots of length back into the spine. We've just done a back bend, so just counteracting that by extending the fingers. You can even creep the fingers away in front of you. Even make little claws with the fingers if you want to get a little bit more openness and release in the back of the shoulders. Just experiment and play and really get the breath deeper here, because this is what makes all the difference. Breathing in deeply and breathing out through the mouth. So that release you can get there in the whole of the back, lower back, back, middle back, between the shoulder blades, back of the heart there. Good. Now we're going to come, I haven't forgotten the other side that we didn't do before. So we come up onto all fours and we tuck the toes under, breathing in, breathing out. We'll come up into downward dog briefly. So let's just do a little bit of walking the dog here as we're here. Just bending the right knee, push the left heel down, bending the left knee, putting the right heel down. And then we're going to take a step forward with the right foot. So we took the weight. How to do this is look at the hands, put the weight onto the left hand and the left foot, and then we take a step forward with the right. And it might take a couple of steps, and we might not get there straight away. And the hands are either side of this right foot. So we're On the other side now, this lunge. So that left knee is off the ground, unless you prefer to be on the ground. And we're just really feeling a sense of pushing that left heel back and having the body resting on this right thigh there. And then bring the left knee down, flatten the foot or have the toes tucked under, whatever feels better for you. Come up into this high kneeling position. Widen that stance if you're feeling wobbly, and also pad up that knee if you need extra support. Breathe in, lift the arms up, palms together. Breathing out, the hips are coming forwards. Hips are coming forwards, hands are coming back. Breathe. Good. And then just take the hands forwards, either side of that right foot. Tuck the left toe under, come back into the lunge. And then we're just going to step forward with the left foot. And then we're going to come onto our seat. Take the legs forwards. Bounce the knees up and down. Ah, yeah. So, bring the knees up. Hug the knees. Let's just release a little bit here. Have a little rest, repose. So the face is on the knees. Hugging the knees towards you. Nice, soft, rounded back. Ah. Breathe in through the nostrils, out through the mouth. So the cosmic egg. So you have the hands around the front of the knees. It's a nice simple little posture. Very engaged. It's engaged, but not as much as the boat. We're not going to come into a boat. Well, not yet. So we just come on to so we had the rounded back. Now we're going to lift the back, lift the chest, and have a nice straight back. See how the shoulders sit back. Come up onto the tippy toes, and then take the toes off the ground. So you'll feel this in your abdominals and your back, but you need to use the abdominals. So if it's like this, if you're hunched forwards, you're not using the abdominals. So this is why we lift the chest, shoulders back, strong belly, strong back. And then close the eyes, see how that feels for a moment. Floating in space, the cosmic egg. And let the feet fall down again and hug the knees. Just going to get some battery power, so have a little rest there. I said about the boat. We'll just do a little bit of play with the boat. So that's a little build up. The cosmic egg is a kind of build up to the boat, really, in a way. This time we put the hands behind the knees, come up onto the tippy toes. Still, so find this position rather than this. And we're really trying to sit forwards onto the sit bones rather than sitting back on the sacrum. It's very important. So it really requires abdominal strength there. Now lifting the toes off the ground. So we're kind of in this position. You might find you're rocking back and forwards, but really try and take the weight forwards into the sit bones there. And then release. Just going to kind of do it lightly today. So holding the knees and just releasing. Good. We'll try that one more time. So you can either do the same thing, or you can go hands free. So it's very important to keep, again, this upright, this length in the front of the body, shoulders back. So you can either hold the legs there or come in this position, which is a bit more challenging. But if you're going into shaking, then I would avoid that, and I would hold or support that movement. And then release. And then we slide the legs away. And then we're just going to come into lying down. So we're still working with the abdominals. We're just stretching the fingers towards the toes, slowly lowering down, and then we're going to get a very nice release of the abdominals, breathing in and out. You can lower down as slowly or fast as you can. And to release that, and the abdominals we've worked so hard, we lengthen. So take the arms above the head, point the toes, breathe. Just feel the lovely release, abdominals at rest. Good. And we're getting a nice expansion in the chest, encouraging our breath to help us along. And then we're just going to play a little bit with the front and the back. So pointing the toes on the inhale and pushing the heels away on the exhale. Breathing in, point toes, exhaling, push the heels away. And we're breathing in and out the nostrils. Okay. So The arms are above the head, but more relaxed now. We're not extending it, and the legs are relaxed as well. So just let the feet fall out to the sides, just kind of lying in an easy position. We won't stay here too long. So if you find it uncomfortable lying flat, then it won't be for too long. So inhale. As you exhale, you lift the arms up to the ceiling, and they move through space. It's all on an exhale. And at the end of the exhale, the hands reach the ground. So we're going to go through a sequence now. So breathing in, the arms come up. And they rest and stay on the ground above the head. So really open here. We can feel the back lift off the ground there. And then we press the back into the ground on the exhale and draw the knees up into the chest. And we inhale, we push the heels up to the ceiling. And exhale, bring the knees into the body. And inhale, extend the legs away. You can either, if you're feeling strong in the abdominals or, really work them a bit more, then you extend the legs away. If you're not so much, then you can just slide the feet away. And the final movement is breathing out, the arms come through space. So we'll do this a few more times because it's a lovely little sequence and takes us into a really breathing space. Inhale. The arms come up, feel the expansion in the chest. Exhale, press the back into the ground, draw the knees up. That's exhale, because we're getting small. Inhale, we're expanding the backs of the legs, so we're inhaling. Exhale, we're getting small again, so squeeze the knees into the body. Inhale, we're extending, so send the legs away. Exhale, we're bringing the arms back, so we're kind of closing down. So it's an exhale movement. Breathing in, the arms come up. Nice, slow, full inhale. Exhale, press the back into the ground, draw the knees up. Inhale, push the heels up to the ceiling. Exhale, draw the knees in. Inhale, extend the legs away or slide the feet away. Exhale, arms coming through space. The arms are still extended here, but they're moving slowly and steadily. So it's always a steady movement. So this is we're trying to get the breath steady and even. The arms are also going with that. So inhaling. Exhale, press the back into the ground, draw the knees in. Inhale, push the heels up. So extending the backs of the legs again. Breathing out, draw the knees in. Breathing out, extend the legs away. And breathing out. The arms come through space. Let's do one more of these. Inhaling, expanding, lift the arms up. Breathing in and out through the nostrils, don't forget. Exhale, push the back into the ground, draw the knees up. So it's small, so we squeeze the breath out. Inhale, extend, push the heels up to the ceiling. Exhale, draw the knees in. Inhale, extend the legs away. Exhale, closing down the whole movement, arms coming through space. And then we're just going to bend the knees again and hug the knees. Have a little rock and roll. We're just slowing it all down now. And stay on the ground. Moving on the ground. Keeping the back, lots of support and breath. And let's just draw a circle on the ground. So the knees are staying together, the hands are on the knees. And we're just drawing a circle on the ground. We're also drawing a circle with the knees as well. Okay. Inhaling and exhaling. And just enjoy the pressure that you're choosing in the particular areas of the back that are getting a massage there. So you can, if you want to, take the knees away if you want to reach different parts. That it's kind of different. Same way as if you make the circle very, very small. Make it very small. Maybe reaching little parts of the body back that you want to kind of just work or give a little bit of extra pressure to. And then we'll take the other direction as well. So you can choose whether you want to go really big with that circle. Feels really nice sometimes to get into, oh yeah. But sometimes it's nice just to find a little small circle. So we're going anti-clockwise with the knees. But whatever way you're doing this, really incorporate the breath. The breath is in charge here. So the inhale, the knees come away. And the exhale, the knees come in. Whether it's a small circle or a giant circle. And then hugging the knees again. Let's just put the right foot on the ground and slide that leg away. Let's do a little bit of a twist here. So we're going to just take the left hand onto the left knee, right hand onto lower on the leg, wherever you can reach, maybe on the ankle or even on top of the foot. Breathe in, let the knee come away. Breathing out, draw that knee into the body. So we're just giving that a little bit of a squeeze there. Breathing in, take the knee away. Breathing out, squeezing that knee in. Breathing in and breathing out. And once more, we extend that left leg up. So you're pushing that left heel up to the ceiling and take hold behind the left thigh. If that feels too much, you can always, again, this is another volume control thing. You put the right foot on the ground there. That's okay. And if you feel like, oh, this is, going great, I've got lots more space, we're all different in our hamstrings, then you can then, if you want to, take hold behind the calf. But it's not worth doing if you're not getting your length here already when you're holding the thigh. And then we're going to release that. If your right knee is bent, you can stretch it out now because we're going to come into a twist. Right hand on the left knee, breathe in. Breathing out, take the knee over the body, right over the body, and looking down the left arm. The left arm is extended out to the left and looking down the left arm, right hand on the outside of this left leg. And we're just going to breathe, stay here for a moment, and just release the spine with a beautiful twist. Close the eyes, enjoy. So we're not pressing with that right hand, we're just resting it there and holding, if you want to, otherwise you can just let the hand rest on the ground. Breathe deeply. Really feel that breath. Imagine it's in the spine. Just see if you can trace the twist of the spine with your breath. One more breath in and out. And on the inhale, really take it carefully. Lift the head to center and use your hands to lift that knee back to center. Give it another squeeze. Place the left foot on the ground, slide the left leg away. And now we're going to bring that right knee up. The left leg is straight, right hand goes around the top, around the front of the right knee, left hand lower down. And we're just going to breathe in, take the knee away, breathing out, draw the knee in. Just giving that little squeeze there, breathing in and breathing out. So moving and breathing, breathing in and breathing out. One more breath in and then breathing out, squeezing that knee in. Then we're going to send that right heel up to the ceiling, take hold behind that right thigh. Again, you've got the volume control. You can put that left foot on the ground with the knee bent if you want to. And also you have the other volume control. If you want to turn the volume up, you can take hold behind that right calf. But always pushing that right heel up, so we're getting lots of length in the back of the right leg. Now we bend the right knee, give it another squeeze. If you want to, if you have that left foot on the ground, you slide that away and come into the twist. So left hand on the right knee, right arm out to the side. You're going to keep looking down that right arm, actually. Breathe in. As you breathe out, take that knee right over to the left, right over the body, right over. Eventually, what we're trying to do is bring that right knee to the ground on the left side and that right shoulder's coming down to the ground. And maybe that only one can be in that position, or maybe not at all. Maybe that's what we're working towards. Breathe. Breathing in and out. Really feeling this breath in your spine, keeping your eyes closed. And slowly coming back to the center, lifting that knee to center, giving it a good squeeze. Placing the sole of the foot on the ground, slide the leg away, give yourself a full extension. Breathing in and out. And if you want to, Have a little squeeze of your knees here. You can. Then we'll just place the soles of the feet on the ground in semi-supine, feet slightly wider apart, let the knees fall together. Just place the hands on your body, close your eyes. We're going to have a little moment, maybe a minute on the ground. So eyes closed. Let's have a little relaxed moment. Just breathing in and out through the nostrils. Maybe breathe into the nostrils, just sigh out through the mouth if you feel like you need to release. Good. Just feeling your hands on your body, getting yourself healing. Feeling your breath moving very easily in and out through the nostrils. And just enjoying this moment where you don't have to do anything, you don't have to think about anything. You just be here now. So a short but sweet moment of stillness. And I'm going to come back. So take your time. Take your time, maybe just hug your knees, maybe have a stretch, roll around a little bit, or onto your side. Do whatever feels good. Gradually come back to seated. Opening your eyes, looking around. How does that feel? And then just rub the palms together. Close. I'll practice today with the palms together vigorously. So we're trying to create heat, make a little fire between the hands and energy, centering energy there. And we bring it to the heart center, that energy, that warmth. Close the eyes. And this is where you bring to mind a affirmation or an intention, what we call in yoga a sankalpa. So this is something that we want to manifest in ourselves. Something we want to manifest in ourselves, whatever that is, positively framed. So it might be, I am loved, you know, I am, I will be, or I am, I will be, I can, I am, I have. And anything that might follow that is usually a good way to frame a sankalpa. And say that a few times to yourself, with your breath, with your body. Yeah, good. Namaste. Thank you so much for your practice today. Thank you for being with me.